Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm Gary Hibner here, a YouTube guitarist from South Africa, and in this video, we're going to be taking a look at Otto Audio's Otto Cabs. Now, if you don't know me, I like to focus in on low tunings and high gain with my guitars, and I'm always looking for tools that can help me with my productions. And that brings me to this review on Otto Audio's Otto Cabs Volume 1. Now, Otto Audio is also the developer of the amp sim, the 1111. You might have seen my previous video review on this, but this is an awesome amp sim that is really brutal and sounds awesome for high gain tones. And it's my go-to amp sim at the moment for my productions. Now, the vision of Otto Cabs is to give you the feeling of when you're sitting in a room with a speaker cabinet. You're sitting there and you're getting that air pushing out and you're hearing that sound. So with Otto Cabs, you're going to be sitting in front of your studio monitors, playing your guitar, but you're getting that feeling of sitting in a real room from how these IRs have been captured. Now let me give you a playthrough of Otto Cabs in a full mix so you can hear it in action. For the amp sim, I'm using Otto Audio's 1111, and then in the mix, I'm going to start off by using Otto Cabs and then switch to where it's using the stock cabs and then back to Otto Cabs. And just another thing to point out is that you can use these IRs with any amp sim. I've chosen to use it with the 1111, but you can really use it with any amp sim. So let's check it out. Okay, so that was the Otto Cabs in action. Now let's talk more about the IRs and also hear some of them in isolation so you can really hear what they do. So just to give you some extra details on what's included in the pack, what you've got is you've got 6 cabs that have been captured. There's 17 different mics where you've got different positions that you can choose from, and they're perfectly phase aligned so you can mix and blend between them perfectly without getting any phase cancellation. Then if you go scroll down over here, you can see the different models that have been captured. So there's just some sort of cryptic names here, but if you decipher them, you can see that this is an oversized Mesa V30 cab. And then over here, you've got this rare vertical tower Sun 4x12 cab that's been captured. Then there's a Carvin 4x12 V30. This is a 1960 Marshall slanted cab with T75s. Then you've got a PV straight cab that's loaded with Model 1200 speakers. And then finally, you've got this Ampeg A10 bass cab. Even though it's a bass cab, it sounds pretty damn good in guitars, especially using it with low tuned guitars. What also is pretty key about this IR pack is that the samples and the IRs that are being captured are phase coherent. So you're not going to have any phasing issues when you blend between IRs. So for example, when you load 2 IRs in your IR loader, you can blend between them. You don't have to do any volume adjustments, and there's no phasing between them. Now let's take a look at some of the IRs. I'm going to play them back, and I'm just going to jump through some of the presets so that you can hear it in action with some isolated guitar track. So I'm using the Otto Audio 1111. These are the settings I'm using, but I'm pretty much sure that this is the default setting where I've just slightly tweaked the preamp. And then I'm going to flip over to the other side and then just bypass the IR. So it's not using the stock cabs over here. Then after that, I've got an instance of NAD IR. And then in here, I can navigate to my Otto Cabs. I've got the balance set all the way to the left here. So I'm only using the IRs over here, but you can load another set of IRs over here and then blend between the two. Now, what I want to do is first go through some of the different cabs, and then we'll explore some of the different mics that are being used and blending between the IRs. So I'm going to navigate over here. I can navigate to my Otto Cabs. You can see that in here, you've got different sample rates. I'm going to use 44.1 kilohertz. And then these are the cabs that have been captured. First off, I'm going to start off with this Carvin 4x12 with V30s. And I'm going to go to my favorite microphone, which is an SM7B. Here are the different captures with the microphones. And what I quite like is this SM7B cap cone +1. So you've got different distances away from the cone, and then you've also got it right on the cap. But let's start off with this. I'm going to load that up. And now I'm just going to play back through this guitar track and then just cycle between the different amps using the SM7B. Now let's take a look at how we can load up two IRs, we can blend between them, and how they are phase coherent, meaning there's no phasing between them, and when you jump between the different IRs, there's no jump up in level. Everything is nice and balanced. So on the left hand side over here, let's load up another IR. And I want to go for this PV style cab over here. I'm going to go for the SM57 on the cone with the +1 over there, and that sounds like this. Then on this side, let's load up something a bit different. I want to go for these Sun cabs. They are really quite unique. And I want to go for the C414 microphone, and this is going to be on the cab. So this is what this guy sounds like. I'm going to put the balance over here. And then I can blend between the two. So notice how there's no phasing, and the volumes are perfectly balanced between the two. So I can get a nice balance between those two cabs. Now, how about we try something else? Let's go back over here, and for this, I'm going to jump back to the cabs. And for now, I want to go for the Warrior 1960. And for this, I'm going to use an SM7B with this R over here. You can see the different instances and balance between the two. Then maybe on this side, I want to go for the Ampeg. I'm going to go for the C414, and this one here where it's 6 inches off the center. And this is a super bass heavy cab. But what's quite nice is I can have the very high end detail of this cab and then blend between the two. So can you see there how you can jump between samples? There's no phasing happening, and the volume is balanced between them, so you can perfectly just switch between samples and get the IR tone that you're going for. So that's what the Otto Cabs sounds like with some isolated guitar tracks. Now, as an extra segment, let me play through some more riffs, switching through the cabs within the context of a full mix. Now, even better, if you want to grab these cabs, I've got a 50% off discount code that you can use. So when you go to the link, I'll leave a link in the description below to the cabs, and you check out, you can use my code of HEAVYTONES50 to get 50% off these cabs. As you saw, I've been using these IRs with the Otto Audio 1111 as the amp sim, but you can really use them with any amp sim. And another thing I want to point out, if you check the name, it's called Otto Cabs Volume 1, which means, I'm guessing here, that there's going to be more IRs in the future. So stay tuned for that. So if you want to get 50% off, definitely click on the link below and use my coupon code. That's it for me in this video. I'll check you in the next one. But before I forget, let me just punt a few things before we go. If you're not, or if you're a new subscriber, please hit that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to click on the notification bell to be notified of future videos. As well, I have set up a Patreon account, so if you want to support me in this channel, you can check out my Patreon. I've got some different tiered levels there with different benefits. There's also a private Discord server, so if you want to join us in the Discord server where we just geek out on everything guitar, low tuning, gain, all that type of stuff, I'll leave a link to that in the link below in the description. And I think that's it. I'll check you in the next video.